Hey everybody, Mean Joe with Balsa USA, as if you didn't know that already. So we've got a couple announcements. I wanted to make sure you guys didn't forget about the YouTube giveaway. If we hit 3,000 subscribers, first Friday of Joe Nall, we're actually going to give away the quarter scale kit of your choice. So don't forget to go over to the YouTube channel and click follow. And as soon as we get to 3,000 likes, we're going to mark that off. And then anybody that joins after the time frame will still be entered, because I'm going to leave that open. But we have to hit 3,000. If we hit 3,000 early, more the better. The more the merrier. Go over there and subscribe to the YouTube channel. On a second note, you can see here, I'm sorry about the chair. The Balsa USA Beginner Build Series on the Stick 40 is almost complete. It's covered, it's painted. The next episode we'll be filming later on this afternoon and should drop sometime next week, barring any complications that I'm not aware of at this point. There's lots of things going around. You've seen the lamination videos. There's going to be a lot of that stuff going on. I've got several projects in the work. As of right now, I'm looking at least 5 that are on benches and in various stages. So there's going to be a lot more stuff coming up on both YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Flickr. So make sure you follow all of our forums. Some of the stuff is specific to that specific social media site. So make sure you follow them all so you don't miss out on anything at all. I'll say one more time, I've got some late arrivers. Make sure that you get over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. We're looking for 3,000 subscribers, and then the first Friday of Joe Nall, we're actually going to give away a quarter scale kit of your choice. Live from Joe Nall 2020. Now, I noticed you saw the title of the video was Announcements and Opinions. So now we're going to get over into the opinion side. As we're all well aware, we have this whole FAA thing coming down on us, and I'm seeing a lot of opinions. I'm seeing a lot of people, I've seen people say they're quitting the hobby, they're selling all their stuff. I've seen people being supportive of the whole process. I've seen support from associations like the EAA, which is awesome. The EAA, having them in our corner is going to help us a lot. So here's what I think. And again, I know some of you aren't going to agree with me, and that's totally fine. But I just got to put this out there because it's really heavy on my heart. As you guys all know, I absolutely love this hobby. I love spending time with all you guys. I love going to fun flies and flying, as all of you do. Speaking with some of the staff at the AMA, not only last spring in New York, speaking to the executive director, speaking to Tyler Dobbs, the government affairs personnel, and a lot of other people, I really think we got to make sure that we're supporting the AMA. Now, hear me out. Admittedly, they know they've made some mistakes. You know, from talking to several people there, they know there were some things that they could have done better in this whole process early on. You know, the thing about it is a lot of people are blaming the multi-copter guys for getting involved. I don't necessarily believe that's true. I'm not saying they're completely blameless. I'm not saying we're also, as airplane flyers, field of view flyers, we're not partially to blame. The point I'm trying to make is now is the time. We've got to set all that stuff aside. AMA is fighting for us to keep our rights to be able to go out and fly our airplanes. Okay? Whatever you're into flying, I don't judge. I have everything. I have FPV, I have drones, I have airplanes, I have gliders, World War I, World War II. I have all of it. I love it all. So it's important for all of us to support what they're trying to do with us at the AMA. Keep in mind, the FAA letter that we just got is just a proposal. Okay, I watched a video this afternoon from Chad Boudreau, the executive director of the AMA, and he said it perfectly. Now is our time to try to help mold that policy into a policy that's beneficial to all of us that are in this hobby. It doesn't matter what you fly. It doesn't matter if you fly World War I. It doesn't matter if you fly FPV drones, drone racings, whatever. It's time for us all to stand together and make our voice heard. If we don't do that, then we're shooting ourselves in the foot in the long run. Those of you that can remember, and I see Doug Bailey on there, right there, I know he's old enough to remember this because he's really old. But this all same stuff happened back in the day with full-scale aviation. Full-scale aviation went through the same type of growing pains that we are now with the hobby. They instilled a bunch of rules. They regulated them. They did all the same stuff they're doing to us now. And that process was pretty long and drawn out. You know, from the research that I've been able to do, it took them a good 10, 12 years to actually get a decent setup for both full-scale aviation and government regulations. So I guess what I'm trying to say is make sure, I've got the site up right here. This is modelaircraft.org/gov. And all you have to do is if you scroll down, I'm going to try to keep my big head out of the way, there are instructions for what to do. I'm going to take this one step further. You'll see on here, and it's hard to see on the screen, but you'll see on here there's templates. There's templates for formal comments to the FAA proposal, government affairs updates. There's templates for UAS remote control ID. All that information is there. Again, that's modelaircraft.org/gov. That's where all the information is. I encourage you, I beg you, go on there, gather the information, and go on and make a comment to this, okay? Now, there's been some waves out there. I've seen a lot of posts saying the FAA doesn't recognize copy and paste, this and that and the other. That's not really true because those forms still get counted, okay? They still get counted to the numbers. They don't want you to use the templates. Okay, the whole idea behind the templates is to give you a format and to give you an idea of what it is you want to say. It's trying to help those that aren't maybe necessarily good at writing form letters and speaking to government officials to give them an idea of what to do. So please, get on here, go on to your, follow the links, make your comments. Again, they don't necessarily want you to use the template letters. What they want you to do is use that as your starting off point. Okay, I was watching Chad's video today, and he specifically says he wants you to be specific about how this affects you and your hobby. If it costs you a lot of money, he used the example, he said if you have 82 planes and the financial burden you would have to be able to continue in the hobby to make sure all of your planes had transponders in them or whatever that is they decide to do, he wants you to put that in there. He wants you to talk about your friends, your family, all the things you do. He wants you to make this personal. It's a personal letter to the government, to the FAA. Okay, it's very important that we do this. And I'm going to take it one step further. I've done this several times. I know several people out there have done this several times. Contact your local government officials. It doesn't have to just be the FAA. Go online, search, find out who your representatives are. Send them letters. They actually do listen to the letters. It doesn't matter what side of the government you're on. I'm not going to get into a political debate with anybody, but I'm saying if you do this, it helps. Get it in their attention, because I've got news for you. A lot of the senators and congressmen out there, they have no idea what this is about. They don't know. This stuff comes across their desk. It gets put up for votes. They don't really know what it says. And it's our job as citizens and enjoyers of this amazing hobby to step forward and say, you know what? This is not fair. This is something that we need to correct. Now is the time for us all to do that. We have to do that now. If we don't do it now, then we're going to get what we're going to get. And I don't think anybody out there wants to see our hobby go away. I personally don't believe that our hobby is going to go away. I think there's enough of us out there fighting this fight that they're actually going to at least listen to us a little bit. Like I said earlier, I know the EAA is in our corner. That's going to actually help us quite a bit. That's the full scale side for those of you that don't know. So I encourage you. You know, I've seen a lot of people saying they weren't going to renew their AMA. I've seen a lot of people saying that they weren't going to do it because they didn't think it was going to matter. I'm here to tell you it does matter. The money that you pay for membership doesn't just pay for the little cards you get in the mail. It pays for your insurance. It pays for your national facility. It pays for the government affairs folks to go to Washington, D.C. and lobby on our behalf. It pays for all the papers and all the stuff that they have to do to keep us in our hobbies and keep us where we need to be with the government rules. I'm not going to pretend that there's not going to be some kind of regulations, okay? There's going to be regulations. John, I'm with you on that. Regulations for something that we've been doing on our own for many, many years, safely, with very few incidents, very few near misses. I know that's gone up in numbers. I think a lot of that stuff is media. I honestly do. I know a lot of the big corporations, and I'm not going to name names, but you guys know who they are. They're trying to get drone deliveries. I honestly don't believe that's ever going to happen, no matter how much testing, no matter how much media they put out there. Think about it. It's promotional. They're doing it as a promotional click. They're trying to get people to watch and pay attention to what they're doing. I almost guarantee that stuff's never going to happen. Think about the logistics that would be involved in delivering packages by drones. Okay? It's a lot deeper than what we all imagine. They might prove me wrong. I honestly don't think they're ever going to get the approvals to do that. Okay? I don't think we're there yet. The one thing I do know is if we don't stand up for ourselves and we don't make them hear us, then we're doing ourselves a disservice. I spoke with a gentleman yesterday, and his argument was it's expensive. $75, that's expensive. The hobby's already expensive. I'd rather buy batteries to go fly in my backyard than I would to pay the AMA my $75 because I don't think they're doing anything for me. I'm here to tell you, I know most of those people there personally, and they are just as torn up and just as excited about this whole thing as all of us are. They are hearing us. They are working very hard to make sure that we can enjoy this hobby. It benefits all of us. So please take the time. Again, the website is modelaircraft.org/GOV. Go on the site, read through the information, help stop spreading the misinformation. There is a ton of misinformation out there about what's going on. I've read the rules, guys. I know most of you guys had. There's some crazy stuff in there. But it's up to us to try and fix it. Now's our time. Be respectful. I know a lot of people get really upset with government overstepping. In this case, I would say that that's kind of what this is. I get their basic premise that there needs to be something in place, but why not just let the AMA govern that? Why do we have to have the Federal Aviation Commission step in and oversee what we're already overseeing ourselves? Okay, there's no need for it. So again, write your letters, send the stuff in, make them personal, make them hear you. Okay, call your local congressman, call your local senators. Call anybody you can. Send the letters out. Be respectful. Tell your story. That's what they need. They don't need a lot of rhetoric. They don't need a lot of name calling. They don't need a lot of finger pointing. That's not what we need now. What we need now is to stand together, all of us. There's a lot of us. There's a lot more than you folks might think. Encourage your friends and family to go on there and do the same thing. They don't have to be AMA members to comment on this. They don't. It could be your friends, your family. It could be your wives. I know if your wives are anything like mine, they love you to be in the hobby because it gets you out of the house. You're not under their feet. I'm sure my wife will be tickled to death when I take this to her and have her fill out a comment. They don't have to be AMA members. This is a public forum. You can go on there. You can tell your friends and family, even if they're not flying in the hobby, they can go on there and they can comment on this. And hopefully we can get some regulations that actually work for all of us.